The Cold War begins. After World War II, Stalin does not trust the Allies. They kept the atomic bomb a secret from him. Germany is split up into 4 nations. The Berlin Wall is created to separate East and West Germany. NATO is formed to stop communism from spreading and the fear of communism from taking over the world. The containment policy to help pay for countries' needs to prevent communism from spreading throughout the world. Then comes the CIA. The CIA would spy on countries and take down their governments to benefit the US. Then came the Korean War, a war to contain communism from spreading. Fear grew through America in this propaganda poster. More fear rose when China became communist. Had containment failed us? Then the Soviets discover how to create an A-bomb. The Soviet Union was able to create the atomic bomb from the secrets leaked out by the Rosenbergs.
McCarthyism, the Second Red Scare. Joseph McCarthy was a senator who used the communism boom to his advantage to gain power throughout America. Then the president made the Committee of Un-American Activities. They would investigate your personal life to make sure you were not communist. If they thought you were communist, they would blacklist you, and you would lose all socialness with your neighbors, friends, and might even lose your job. Schools even began to train students to duck and cover in case of nuclear bomb threats due to the communist threat to Americans. It was not uncommon for the average American family in the 50s to buy a bomb shelter in case of a bomb threat from the Soviets. The Americans started flying U-2 spy planes over Soviet Russia to spy on what they were doing or what they were building. The Americans were flying over on one of the last flights over Russia when they got shot down by one of the Soviet planes. The person flying the plane was then thrown into jail for 10 years. The Cuban Missile Crisis. Pictures taken from a U-2 spy plane showed that the Soviets were building nuclear test sites on Cuba. These could reach out to American soil. Then the U.S. made a blockade and would survey any ships going toward Cuba. They would fly over and look closely at the cargo. The Vietnam War. The U.S. was in the war because of the containment policy and because of the domino effect. The domino effect was if one nation were to fall to communism, more would fall to it as well, many like dominoes. Nixon is elected, and he also extended the war into Cambodia after bombing it. Nixon signed the SALT I, which limited the Americans and Soviets' nuclear bombs, and he also got a ceasefire in Vietnam. Nixon later resigns due to some issues he had. Vietnam is lost, the North defeats the South. The SALT II is signed, which limited more missiles. Reagan is elected as the President of the United States in 1980. Mikhail Gorbachev gains power of the Soviets. Reagan increased defense spending and even wanted to make SDI, or Star Wars, which was lasers that would shoot missiles out of the sky. Both sides signed to remove the short-range missiles. Then Reagan challenged Gorbachev to tear down the Berlin Wall. Gorbachev responded and tore down the wall. The Soviet Empire ended up ending and did not work. America came out and the Cold War was over.